morning, traders. So I had to film this. I'm walking around. We are in the Wall Street district, but I thought you might recognize this building behind me, which is a very famous hotel. If you've ever seen the action movies, John Wick, you would recognize the Intercontinental Hotel. But the reason I wanted to capture this on film is because it is also the New York Cocoa Exchange. And the reason that's interesting is because sometimes we forget about the history of the markets, and you have to understand that when New York was getting built up 150 years ago, not all the markets were created at the same time. There wasn't necessarily we'll have pork bellies and we'll have wheats and we'll have coffee and we'll have sugar and orange juice. They didn't really know where the demand was. They were building up as they went. And so the Cocoa Exchange here then became a standalone exchange where they were dedicated on the prices of cocoa every day. And that was all they really did. Now, also the other thing about the history that's very interesting is that the wealthy kept it very exclusive. They didn't want anyone to get access to all the markets, but at the same time, there was such a huge demand for it, they couldn't really keep people out. So there were a lot of traders that actually set up on the pavements because they weren't allowed into the exchanges. So they would set up on the pavements and they would trade every day. And eventually those traders and what their activities were became bigger big enough that it became a real market. And so they managed to sort of force their way into trading certain markets, and then eventually they would inhabit an entire building and that would become an exchange. The other thing that I wanted to mention is, if you can see here, I'm in New York at the moment, it's just absolutely lovely. You can see that ray of sunlight. That's actually Wall Street, so where that sun is going is heading all the way up Wall Street, which goes for several kilometers that way. We've got the New York Stock Exchange, which is probably about 600 meters one way, and we've got the Charging Bull. If you go straight down this road, almost 600-700 meters down, you've got the Charging Bull. So the point is, there's so much space here, it's very big, and you forget that they have something like 6 major exchanges. The New York Stock Exchange, you have the American Exchange, you have NASDAQ. They're all here, they're all in different locations within the financial district. And of course, typically as soon as I arrived, I got a cold, so I've been fighting this cold for a while. But I really wanted to show you this. I thought it was just great, just amazing trivia, so much history. And this road is empty, considering it's a massive movie kind of location and icon. It's just no one comes here. So Wall Street is very spacious, it's very big, and it's really quiet compared to, say, London. The busiest places in London are tourist destinations such as Leicester Square, Piccadilly Circus, and the city. And this is just so quiet in comparison. And we've been here a week. It's not just because it's Thanksgiving weekend. Anyway, there we go. I thought you might find this interesting, and I hope you have a great day. And yeah, a little bit of the history there for you.